project management. What are the various types of AI, and each type of AI, how is it helping us? And if at all we continue to use AI, what are the associated risks? And going forward, what are the future trends? So once we are aware about the risks, we are able to take action. So as I just mentioned that once we think about project management, we all are project professionals, and managing a project management is the, I would say, is the spinal cord of the project. If we are able to manage a project well, we are able to, whatever we are able to monitor, we are able to improve, and we are able to work on those parameters and improve the efficiency. So same way, if we are able to manage the project well with the help of AI, we are able to improve the efficiency of the project. And nowadays, if we look at, AI is helping us everywhere. All the call centers, the chatbots which are in use, they are managing the complete processes which are simple processes. But when we look at the projects, AI is helping us in the projects as well. How? Because it helps us in decision making. We will talk about it. So we all know about AI. It's just a kind of a recapitulation that what is AI? So it's the capability of the machines to simulate the human intelligence. So when we talk about human intelligence, what is human intelligence? It's all about learning, the ability to question, the ability to reason. We have perceptions about people, about processes, about thoughts, everything. So and language, we are able to communicate. So these are the things which humans can do, and when machines can replicate it, that's what is AI. And what are the various types of AI? So there are three types. One is the narrow AI. Narrow is a kind of a very weak system like Alexa, Siri. And but in narrow we have two breakups. We'll just talk about it further. Machine learning and deep learning. And then there is Gen AI, which we are talking about every day. Everything is now being done by Gen AI, which has the abilities like a human being. And how about the super AI? It is a thing of the future. So weak or narrow AI, as we just spoke about, performs limited tasks like Alexa or Siri. And then if you look at your Facebook account, so whatever kind of things you start reading, or Instagram, whatever post you read, it will give you recommendation basis whatever you have seen in the past. So it understands your choices and preferences, basis the data. It is able to predict, oh, you like spiritual things, so it will continue to show you different spiritual things. So this is a narrow or a weak AI. So as I mentioned, in narrow AI we have two types. One is the machine learning, and one we have the deep learning. What is machine learning? Machine learning is purely based upon data. We always say, data is power. And data has been with us, throughout centuries and ages. But have we been able to make some real, information? Yes, we have been able to do it. But now with the advent of AI, what's happening? Whatever data we have, we are able to draw out quick, immediate inferences which we can use immediately into the project, which we were not able to do in the past. So like if we want to find out the time taken to complete a project, looking at the cost data also, it will tell us, oh, you have exceeded the budget. So how much time, how much cost it is going to complete a project, that our ML, machine learning, can tell us. Then it is able to do the resource allocation. How it can do the resource allocation? So there are men, material, machinery, everything is available. So in the data bank, it will have all the details of people who are onboarded onto a project? What are their skill sets? What is their number of experiences? What are the great changes they have been able to bring out into a project? So it's a kind of, I would say, a professional horoscope which is already available in the data bank. Through this availability of this complete data, it is able to say that X is suitable for this position, and then basis the past he completed this job in this much time, it will be able to complete this job in this much time. Then we come to the deep learning. So deep learning is a further subset of machine learning, but it works on neural networks and it has multiple hidden layers. Now when we enter into an airport, we all want to do a DGR. That is a form of our deep learning. It's able to recognize the facial features and give access. So security, wherever we want to do, deep learning helps us in that. Yeah. So if we look at this, the diagram, so artificial intelligence, we say it is the complete, ambit under which we have machine learning, and machine learning works on data. It's just we are recapitulating, and deep learning is processing the complex data. Yeah. Then we talked about that we have Gen AI. Gen AI means it is doing whatever humans can. So it's, if data is there, we have something in our memory, but when complex situations come, we are able to do and develop new scenarios and take decisions with respect to the new scenarios. So Gen AI is based upon natural language processing. That is the backbone of it. And when we talk about the projects, in the projects, meeting is happening. So we have two elements to it. One is that there is a processor which reads through the email, through the text, through the conversations that are happening. And one is that there is vision, means a camera view. So what happens with that? It is able to read the sentiments of the people. Like it is over here, it can figure out who all are listening, who are not listening. So they have that much capability to, through the eyes, read the sentiments of the people, through the body language. So this monitoring helps us. So if we talk about in the project side, how it helps us? It helps us to detect threats, to understand the people's behavior. So if at all some people they are not interested in a project and they are want to go, or they feel demotivated, disengaged, so we will throw out such inferences and accordingly action can be taken. And next, coming to the super AI. As I mentioned earlier, super AI is the thing of the future. We are yet to come to super AI. A lot of work is already happening in this area. So when we talk about super AI, so it has a complete amalgamation of intelligent quotient, emotional intelligence, spirituality, and then positivity as well. So it is, it's a future thing. So it is able to think independently and behave like a complete human. So just complete artificial intelligence, you can see over here that we have narrow AI, Gen AI, and super AI. In narrow AI, we have ML, machine learning, and we have deep learning. So when we talk about machine learning, it's learning from the data. And whenever we have data, we are able to make predictions based on the past. And when we talk about deep learning, it is using neural networks. As I mentioned, facial recognition. So it is able to draw inferences and it is helping us to make decision, yes, go, no. This person has the access, doesn't have the access. Then coming to Gen AI, we have two things when we talk about NLP, natural language processing. When we talk about language, similarly, talking about text and voice. It is interpreting and making interpretations from the text and voice. And then we talk about the computer vision, which is through a camera. Through a camera, it is analyzing the image and the videos and making inferences out of that. So it's all real time that's happening. So Gen AI is all about real time inferences. And then it also, if you look at it, It helps us in making insights and threat analysis and protection, as we saw from the example. And super AI, as we talked about, it's all about the future. Now we come to the second part of our presentation, which is we talked about the risks associated with the use of AI. So now, around when I graduated around more than 30 years back, that time we were talking about AI, and it looked like something is going to happen. And more than 30 years passed, and today we are seeing that some AI, we are seeing movement in AI, and I think now it's a revolution. It's not going to stop. It is a stop. It has already come. So AI, what is happening? With the use of AI, what is there? There is an over dependence on the historical data. So we saw that ML and DL models, they need some data to process. And data, if the data is not correct, then what happens? Then if the data is garbage in, then the results will also be garbage out. So we have to have too much care and concern and caution, I would say, that whenever data is there behind the AI systems, that data has to be, data hygiene needs to be checked. It has to be sanitized. And whenever we are working with too much data, we are thinking that okay, AI is giving the inferences. There is a probability that human beings will think, okay, why should I apply my mind? AI is throwing up the solution. So that also we have to see. And coming to next point, additional cost for implementation. Whenever we are deploying these bots or these AI tools into the project management, into the organization for bringing out certain results, they have a huge cost, especially as they are new. And that scalability component has not yet come, so the cost is very, very high. And what are these are all software tools, and when we talk about software tools, they have licenses, they have maintenance cost, they have regular patches that needs to be upgraded. So not only the initial investment cost, but it comes with a bucket of costs. So that also we have to be very aware how to work on, and whenever we are deploying it, that we are really able to draw out those insights and inferences that are really meaningful and useful for the projects and create that value for us. Now when we talk about AI, people mostly get, they get that fear, they get scared that it is going to replace us, especially the junior level people, because there is a thought in mind that AI, all the routine tasks, all the transactional tasks, all the data entry job, they will move to the AI. But yes, when we want to bring it, there is fear amongst people, so we need to handhold them, train them, so that they are able to use it, and that component of fear goes away. Though some ways that fear may be genuine, what I suggest is that once AI can replace a repetitive monotonous task, but the strategic initiative, strategic mindset, that cannot be brought in by the AI tools. Now everywhere we all are wary of cyber attacks, scams. Every day we hear one or the other story. So many scams are happening, and so much in the news every day. So with this use of software and software tools, we have to see that the firewalls are protected. Once we use any AI tool, what happens? It has to be integrated with multiple touch points, and whenever there are multiple touch points, that risk becomes more and more. So each and every point is isolated, is risk prone, that we need to check. And naturally, the complexity is there in the project. In the project, it's not that simple that everything is going linear. Every day, it's not a project if some uncertainty or challenge doesn't come up each day, I would say. In one day, there may be multiple challenges as well. But AI can, do some tasks, but yes, all the complexity at the moment AI cannot handle. Yeah. So it's just a summary of what we talked about. That if there is over dependence on the historical data, there is additional cost, and we have to deal with the change management with proper care, and then data privacy and compliance issues are there, and it all when we too much rely on AI, then human intelligence and creativity may take a loss. So now going forward, what are our trends and way forward? So if we look at the projects, it is able to, we already saw most of the things, that it is able to tell us about what are the budget overruns, what are the potential delays, how the resource allocation can be done. And when we talk about the project risks, looking at the historical data about the other projects and scraping into the other websites, looking at the geopolitical condition, it is also able to tell us that how the risks are going to change in the system. When we talk about risks, in the projects we all calculate the risk, that what is the probability of occurrence, what is the likelihood of impact. But when we talk about AI, it is able to bring about a third element, which is the element of time. So when we multiply with the time, and then it gives us a risk score through which we are able to draw out that risk register and work on the key top risks. Resource optimization, we just talk about that. We are able to efficiently manage men, material, machinery, everything we are able to manage well. And then coming to the transactional terms. Here I will just like to give you an example also. That, like in procurement these days, RPA, robotic process automation, is being deployed by many of the companies, and what they are doing is that from procure to pay, the entire cycle is run by a bot. So what the bot does, when this is normally being used for the tail spend, low value procurement, say less than 5 lakh rupees. So what they will do, whenever a purchase request comes, the bot will look at the purchase request, look at the the material master, and see that the material code written is correct or not, the specification is correct or not. So that PR, first of all, it will be able to check and certify, oh, this PR is correct. Then the bot on its own will do the supplier identification. It will look at the past data and see what are the suppliers are available in the system, and then it will scrape through the network, other networks outside of the organization, and find out other suppliers, and then it will share this RFP for the process for getting the offers to all the suppliers in a specified format. It will collect all the offers on its own, and once the offers are received, this is able to draw out a technical comparison and commercial comparison. Once these comparisons are available, it is able to push out a note for approval in the system as per the workflows, and then send the purchase order to the supplier. So the entire process is happening through a bot. Because the tail spend, people think that not much strategy is required. So it's also able to do the real-time reporting, because all the data is available in the real time. So automated real-time reports, reminders in the system that yes, in the morning standing meeting has to happen. It happened or not. It is able to draw out the minutes also for the meeting. Like if we use Zoom or Teams, this time we are able to use an AI companion. So once the meeting is over, it will give you the complete, complete whatever was discussed in the meeting. everything comes in the text. So otherwise earlier we used to write down so many things. This is a beautiful thing, I would say. Chatbots, all like banks. Now sometimes even I feel that I want to talk to someone that please, this is my problem, this is my query, I want an answer. You go to the website, they will first give you a WhatsApp, and you have to, out of 1 to 5, you choose one. So all the queries are through a chatbot also. So maybe I think they are able to address 90% of whatever is happening through the chatbot. So the human, earlier they may be requiring 100, now they require 10. So it's a kind of a cost saving, I would say. And now AI powered drones are being used, as we talked about the computer vision and NLP. So computer drones, whatever they are doing, they are flying over the project construction site, looking at what machinery is idle. So how it can be utilized in a proper way. Sometimes the spread of a project is too much that even people are not, for people to report and do it on an Excel or other project tools. This is able to give you a data every morning that yes, these are your tools, these are lying vacant, this your optimum utilization is not optimum. How much utilization happened on each tool? So that data is available at the click of a button. Then we talk about equipment failures. If at all certain crane is not working or any equipment at the project is not working, it is immediately able through the IoT devices. It's able to bring out that. And now, see, in a project, there are multiple stakeholders. The best thing is that it is able to draw out a dashboard basis the requirement of each and every function. So if the CEO wants to see what's happening in the project, it will bring a CEO level dashboard. Double click, you can go as deep as you want, which is, I would say, a very helpful, insightful tool for people to manage, because knowledge is power. So if you are able to look and monitor at the things, you are able to control them. And as we spoke about, the super AI, which is the tool of the future. So it will have all the powers, as I said, emotional quotient, intelligent quotient, spiritual quotient. So all these powers would be available with the super AI. And it will kind of, replicate a human and take actions. And as we already talked about that, this even NLP and computer vision, they are able to read the sentiments of the people. How are they engaged or not? Are they motivated or not? Are they functioning with their full power or not? And accordingly, when this data is given to the managers, they can take actions and design plans, trainings accordingly. Yeah, so this is just a recapitulation that when we talk about the future trends, we are able to predict project risk, allocate resource properly, MIS and reporting, that can be done. Each leader, each business leader can have a personalized dashboard. Their knowledge mining is very important. What was done in the previous project when this problem came? So immediately that knowledge can come up. In past, when we wanted to buy this product, what were the vendors? What was the last purchase price? What were the challenges we faced? Did this supplier work well with us or not? So that knowledge mining can be done. Then improve team management. When we come to know about team, definitely we can manage them better. And then real-time progress happen. We are able to track what is happening at the project in real time. And then analyze the Internet of Things, IoT data. IoT chips are connected to all these systems and everything can be effectively what we can say is that it acts as a co-pilot for a project manager and able to take actions. So that's it. Thank you everyone, and let me know if you have any questions.
A part of narrow eyes was
narrow AI we have two parts. In narrow AI we have machine learning and deep learning, and then we have the Gen AI.
So how do you differentiate between deep learning and Gen AI?
So actually what happens is, when we talk about the narrow AI is mostly based upon the data. So it's coming, everything is coming from the data only. But Gen AI, it replicates a kind of a human being. It's able to apply its own intelligence also.
Gen AI, you talked about neural network.
Neural networks
and
are
deep learning, you talked about different layers.
There are two things in the Gen AI. One is the neural networks, one is the computer vision. So one, we are able to, this has two things, vision. So through cameras, it is able to read the sentiments of the people. It's able to understand people's behavior. But that is not happening in the machine learning and deep learning. What is happening over there? It's looking at the previous data and making predictions. And Gen AI is using intelligence. So like a human being, so I will say, oh, you know, this thing, if I have to apply some my own intelligence also, I can apply. Predicting or basis the past, like cost overrun will happen or not. The project will, you know, delay or not. This is will look upon you if we look at the past data, how the progress is happening, is it matching the schedules or not. So this is very simple. It will happen on the simple recap, narrow AI. But when we talk about in the project, protecting the security of the project, and when we are applying the devices, so what is a threat, what is not a threat. So that is happening because all the scenarios we cannot build up for a threat. So here it has to apply its own intelligence. So when the intelligence element comes, then it becomes genuine. Does it answer you?
In GMR, which tool you used for project management?
Pardon?
Which tool you used in the project management?
So at the moment, if I talk about, we have recently started about the RPA I mentioned about. That's for all 5 lakhs we are doing. Then we are doing a number of things. We are doing spend analytics, we are doing vendor analytics. We have started recently with, you know, this commercial negotiation tool. We are yet to see the result, but we have just implemented. But we and in the projects we want to see, then we have already used certain robots for, you know, cleaning purposes. So what it does is, you know, it's able to stretch out, it's able to clean on its own in the passenger terminal building of the
It means you
airport.
are making your own development entirely.
No. We are not making our own. We are using the standard tools which are available.
RPA is provided by which company?
Robotic process automation, productivity.
Now I have a question. Yeah, thank you for a great presentation. So, question here was that if you look at the use cases of the AI that you mentioned, so a lot of it is actually tackled by your conventional PMO tools, like, you know. So, where do you draw the fine line between what an advanced project management software can do and what is additional increment AI can bring?
It's a great question. First, so what happens, you know, conventional tools we have been using throughout, but still there were multiple gray areas. If we look at, you know, our history of project management, and we have, most of us, I think, we have been part of the projects. But to take a decision, you know, the information has always been there. The data, you know, enough data was always there. But to draw out inferences out of that, by the time that inference is drawn, it takes lot of, I would say, time. This will soothe out that time, and we will be able to, you know, be very quick, agile. And this is with the AI, I would say, it's the era of agility.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is you would be able to understand patterns.
Yeah, immediately.
For future projects.
Right? Not only future projects, even for these projects. Whatever project we are working, immediately, you know, if today I come to know, in a big project when things are happening, we sometimes lose track of which equipments are not working well. We keep on recording. It is there in our data bank. But to take action, because one, it's not there on my dashboard. So whatever I am responsible, when I am able to see it, you know, in front of me, I am able to take quick decisions. Just to draw out those meaningful inferences, this will provide, good, I would say, meaningful insights for us to take quick action. Any questions? Somebody was. Just an example, I would say, I read it somewhere, that few of the companies, for their supply chain management, they are using a tool called Watson AI. So Watson AI, what it's doing? Yeah, it's a wonderful tool I was reading about. And what it does is, when the shipment, happens, or in projects we have to source multiple products from multiple countries. And then what it will do, which cargo you have booked, how would be the weather conditions, how the ship movement is designed to be. Prior to the starting of that, it will do a complete risk analysis and it will suggest, alternate scenarios, that if you do this, it will be better. So all these by human beings, I don't think we have that much capability to do that much of things. We can do, but it will take a lot of time.
Yeah, but just on the example of Watson, because I had the privilege of selling Watson.
Oh wow.
The issue here, typically that comes with the cost of implementation that you mentioned. It's so, prohibitively expensive from a consulting implementation standpoint. And really the business use case has to be worked out to justify that cost. Just adding to that point.
Yeah, so one thing I would like to add over it. So initially, when mobile phone came, see the cost of usage, the heaviness. You remember the first set which came up, the size was this much for the mobile phone. First set. And now everyone is having it. So in my view, I see, AI as a similar technology. Anything else? Any question further? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, and